I wanted to do a quick review of the Raven Pro scanner. That's the scanner on the right. I have it sitting next to my Fujitsu Scansnap ix1500, which I really like a lot. The Raven scanner, I like some things about it. Frankly, the best scanner would be a combination of these two. But I wanted to do this review because there's not a whole lot of reviews out there that I feel like adequately explain how the Raven is and what you can expect, especially for the price. So one of the things, I've been using this for a few days, and I scan a lot and I use it for business. General impressions, if you don't want to watch the whole video, this scanner is a lot of money for not enough features. And it's confusing to me because it has a high page per minute scan capability at 60 pages per minute, up to 60 pages per minute. And it does that. It does 60 pages per minute, which is pretty unheard of for this price range. But there's things about that that make that not as impressive, which is that it takes a while to process the scan, whereas this smaller scanner is half the speed, but tends to get done with a scan and in your computer faster. The Raven scanner is somewhat limited, quite a bit limited in my opinion, in that it can only scan to one location within each setting. For example, I've got it set to scan to Google Drive. I can only have one folder in Google Drive that it scans to, whereas the Fujitsu, I can put multiple scanning locations and I can just choose which place I'm scanning to, and I can even go further than that to say I want to load these documents in, and I want it to create a new document every third page, and I only want it to scan front pages and not back. Or I can do duplex. You can customize it and save those settings. And you can even have that for multiple computers. So if you had, I think it's up to 5 people, 5 users or something like that, where different computers can connect to it. They're both wireless, but they're a little different in the way they do wireless. So the Scansnap is wireless, but it has to scan to a computer. So the computer has to be on, awake, and it will scan wirelessly to the computer. Whereas the Raven, which is a nice feature, it will scan directly to the cloud just via the internet. You don't need a computer on or connected at all. But I think that is part of the reason why it's slow as well. So just as comparison so that you can see the Raven Scansnap Pro operate, or excuse me, the Raven Scanner Pro operate compared to the Scansnap, I've loaded them both with 50 pages, and this really isn't a speed test because the Raven scans faster, but I guess what I want to show is whether they, at the end, which one actually produces the finished product first. So I'm going to one-handed here try to start them both as close to the same time as I can. Some of the things about the operation: the Raven is faster, it's louder, and it hesitates every other page. Whereas the Fujitsu just keeps going at a steady pace. The other thing about these is the screen is very directional on the Raven. If I stand up here, you can see it much better. But if you're not looking at it at the right angle, it's hard to see the screen. And you may notice there it says scanning page 30. And it's probably going to say that for a while. So it's done with all 50. The Fujitsu is still going. The Fujitsu seems to be accurate. When it says page 40, 41, it really is on page 40 or 41. Let's see, this is still processing now. It's saying 56 pages, so it must have detected 6 back sides of pages. And this Scansnap finished, so I'm going to click finish on the Scansnap, and it has already showed up on my computer, so it's done. And the Raven is still thinking. It's processing. Now it's done. Please wait. Send to Google Drive. And it's sending. I can hit OK, but it's still just sending. So it still has not shown up on my computer, and I'm not going to let the video, just run the video to wait. It'll take several minutes for it to show up in Google Drive. And again, it's not totally fair comparison because it's sending it directly through the internet to Google Drive, whereas the Scansnap was sending it wirelessly to my computer. So if my computer wasn't on, the Scansnap doesn't work. So my big disappointment is the cost for the Raven at $650 compared to the Scansnap, which is about $400. The Scansnap just has so many more features that are just so useful. If you're using it for business and you're scanning a lot and you're scanning to multiple places, and even if you have different types of documents you're scanning, the customization is just far superior with the Fujitsu. The Raven it's a lot of style without substance. The screen is great, but it's louder. I don't like the hesitation. I contacted Raven. They said that's normal. It's detecting the blank page, and if you wanted to turn off all those features, they said it would just crank them out faster, but then you lose the ability to have some of those features that the Scansnap does as well without hesitating. And the Raven, I was scanning large batches the other day of several hundred pages, and it warns you that if you do more than 150 pages, the failure rate goes up, and that's true. It does. I scanned several hundred pages and then it just froze up and it wouldn't continue, whereas the Scansnap just fine, just kept loading them in. It's very reliable and it works great. So the Raven just is lacking some. I'm hopeful that they'll improve that, but for the price, it's built to be and priced to be a pretty nice scanner, and in some things it is nice, but the high speed does little good if it takes forever for it to process and sort out the pages and then send them to your computer. And whereas the Scansnap, it just seems to, when it's done scanning, it's pretty much done processing as well. The price point, there are so many great scanners for around the $300 to $500 range that do more than the Raven does, and yet it's priced up there at $650, I believe, because it has the large touch screen and has the 60 page per minute. But all in all, it's just falling short, and I don't know, a lot of the reviews online don't seem to point any of these things out. They seem to just love it. I think it's maybe they get the scanner for free from Raven. I don't know why so many glowing reviews, but when you compare it to other high quality scanners, even for less money, it just doesn't quite measure up. So I'll be sending this Raven back. I did pay money for this. I did not get this for free. I paid money for this, paid money for both of them, and use them in my business. And my feeling is that Raven has quite a bit more to do, and I'm hopeful they will and improve some of these things, but it's not there yet, and I'm not willing to hold my breath and hope that it happens. So hope that helps somebody. Thanks a lot. Bye.